Hey guys, welcome to another Hype Playoff video. This time it's for Guardian Gaming. I am joined by Dove Rocket and their coach Carpet Boy. Say hi, guys.
How you doing,
Hello.
guys?
Yeah, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's just hop right into the questions. So tell me a little bit about how the team was formed and how you guys got to the roster you currently have today. Because I know it started different because we actually screamed you guys preseason. So
This is gonna be one
Uh,
for Delve.
yeah, so we originally started in a league called Revenants League. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it was the league that we originally played, and we started with a roster consisting of everyone except the current AD carry and jungler. It was all basically just kids from Drexel that our mid laner knew, and we ended up playing really well in that league, so we decided to move on. And then as we moved on, we made changes in the jungler based on how he was performing and as well as ADC. A lot of you know Mr. Jeremy, I'm guessing, from prior seasons, and he said that he basically was underperforming and we should move on with another ADC that was better, I guess.
okay. So how'd you get those? How'd you recruit those new players that you guys found? Did you just find them off like league forums or league boards or Reddit or you know what I mean?
Um, yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that because Zach found them, but ghosts we found through Jeremy and Emmy Alice.
Okay. Where'd you find Carpet Boy? How'd you find the team?
I was kind of a tag along when they picked up Killin. I kind of just offered because I used to have a little bit of experience coaching supports, and I just figured I really want to get into team coaching, and I kind of knew where to start, so I just kind of hopped on board and said, "Hey, you guys, I heard you guys are kind of looking for a little bit of a coach, and I figured I might just offer my services for no charge at all." I was like, "All right, go for it."
Free coaching's the best coaching. Because I mean, especially when it's just somebody kind of giving another perspective on the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, next question. How are you guys? How do you guys feel about how the season went? So, like, are you happy with it? And if not, what would you change? Other than obviously just going undefeated, I'm looking for more like specifically if you can pick out something. Maybe you would have changed your style or your amount of practice time, that kind of stuff.
S- Specific, you're talking about games that happened during the season, right?
Yeah, so regular season games, like, or not even just
Okay,
the
okay,
particular game, like in general, you wish you would have changed your style. You wish you would have
okay.
done something,
W-
anything
Um,
differently.
so like during the mid-season, I guess, was when our mid laner and unfortunately got banned from doing esports, so we
Oh
had
yes.
to make some arrangements, and that involved that jungler was supposed to be playing around bot more. And then when Zach came back, we were supposed to go back to just like playing around mid and trying to get mid ahead and letting him carry. But somewhere along the line that got messed up and we started kind of trolling our games and we didn't really know what we were doing. Kind of looked like deer in headlight basically. Um, so I wish that we adjusted faster back to our original game plan instead of just kind of trolling all of our games.
Yeah, and that I mean, every now and again, we all hit kind of like our rough patches, and I mean, let's all be honest, we don't always have clean seasons, and I'm
Hmm.
not just speaking for Guardian Game, I'm talking about like every team. We all sometimes have our bad games, stuff like that, and I just unfortunately that just kind of caused a kerfuffle when it came to like kind of the focus is I guess the best way to word it in terms of the game plan and like they said how they wanted to adjust their play style. And they're recovering really well though.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to go from like playing around a certain lane or player and then trying to change that and then trying to change it back. Like I can definitely see there being some shuffle of how you draft, how you like map movement, map rotations, like all that stuff is heavily affected by that. Um, so I totally understand, and I know that was definitely an unfortunate situation. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into that. Uh, let's just move on to the next question. So, who's making the calls in games, and who do you guys attribute to like leading the team to success? Because you guys are still in the playoffs, obviously, and ended up with a pretty decent seed. Probably not the seed you guys hoped for, but I mean, still,
Uh,
it's not the last seed.
Mostly it's in game. It's a lot of Emmy Alice making calls, and he's our probably our biggest leader. He helps a lot with like post game discussions and mostly calls in game. Like for the most part, we all make calls, but when it comes down to the final say and who's the person, if there's like a Baron call and we're unsure, it's usually Emmy that will be the one to like make sure that we're all on the same page.
Anything to add, Captain? Carpet?
Uh,
No, carpet boy. Sorry.
no, that's okay. It was kind of like interesting with that question because at first, like, I wouldn't know how to respond, like, when I first joined the team because there wasn't. That was something they kind of wanted to kind of fix and like work out, and that's something they definitely improved on. So I'm just really happy to see that we have a really definite answer for that question.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to step up and do it, right? And so a lot of
Mm.
times there's on teams there's just not that person that has that like personality too. So honestly, it's pretty high value, and you can either step up and do that, or when you find someone that can. So it sounds like your support is filling that role pretty nicely. I mean, you guys again have pretty good success for the most part. Obviously, there's been some rough games and some close games that you guys have just barely not been able to finish, but we'll get maybe into that when we talk about the matchup coming up. And then final question for you guys internally: who would you pick if each of you had to pick a player, or even the coach, for an MVP for the team, or even a manager? I don't know what you guys have in your structure, but who would you pick as an MVP for the split? And again, it's not based necessarily on just game performance. It can be based on any intangible thing that you attribute to bring a lot of value to your team.
This is wait, okay, so you said MVP for the split and then you said MVP for the team. You're talking about just for our team or for the entire
This is just for your team,
league?
for your
Okay.
team in particular, internally, because like we can't see all those things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Personally, I would choose our mid to be the MVP. He's just always like played like really, really consistently, and if he doesn't win lane, he wins by farm. So he pretty much carries us in the games that we're either going even or we're behind.
Okay.
Kind of want to put it as a coin flip, but if I had to pick, it wouldn't be a 50-50 flip. It'd be more like a 60-30 flip between our mid and top, and that's mostly because very good reasons that he's pointed out in the mid lane. However, Delve, you draw a lot of bans, and you do put in work when you get the champs that you're very comfortable on, and I really feel like that's also pressure to be appreciated as well because we can't just kind of leave you out to dry in that sense because you do put in your work when you are given the opportunity to do so. So it's not mid laner definitely MVP, but you were right there. You were up there right with them in my book.
Okay. Um, yeah. So I mean, I think that's what some definitely like. Especially, so it kind of matches up with a lot of I think external opinion maybe. Like Dale, I agree with the coach. I know that top lane has also been considered like a pretty strong place for you guys. I think the most inconsistent part is probably the bot lane and jungle. It's just because it kind of just depends on the game. It seems like.
Yeah.
But even we'll have to see when the playoff comes up because we have best of threes coming up, so that could definitely um, change how you guys play your around your pick ban, or maybe bot lane starts to come like plays adapts to the other bot lane's playstyle. So we'll have to see. But I'll definitely have a question for you guys for that later, regarding best of threes coming in the playoffs, and even in best of five if you guys made it to the finals. All right, so let's just talk about your matchup this week. You guys play Enigmatic Academy, or no, not Academy. You guys just play EG. Might as well be if Shuna's playing him. All right.
Yes.
So, what do you guys? How do you guys feel going into this matchup? You guys confident? You guys, what are you guys expecting? What are you guys planning for? You don't have to give necessarily any strategy away. Just what are you thinking?
We're really, really, really confident going to EG. Like our last game we played against them, we like all played like really, really clean games and are all really comfortable in our matchups against EG.
Okay.
Um, our one area that probably could be improved upon is Nova Galaxy is like a really good jungler,
Mhm.
really strong. So if there is any strategy that we can give away, we're probably throwing a lot of our bans onto jungle.
It's fair enough.
Uh,
But we have some really interesting cops coming up that I'm sure everyone's going to be excited to see. Some new stuff.
Interesting is definitely a way to put it. We are anticipating this, and we kind of were mixed feelings at the start, but now I feel like we're getting a lot more confident with as I know as you heard Delve explain that we're definitely looking forward to this, and we're looking forward to the big day. And hopefully we'll definitely take care of this matchup.
All right. Well, what are you guys projecting if you got to pick the series score? So 2-1, 2-0, because clearly you guys are going to obviously give yourselves the favor, right? So
Yeah.
what is that
2-1.
score line? 2-1? Okay, so you're
Yeah, I say
expecting a
2-1.
close series. What about you, Carbon Boy?
I'm gonna say safe and say 2-1 just because my predictions are not always on point. Uh, just gonna leave it at that.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, that way, if you happen to lose 1-2, you don't look like you were too far off, too. So there's that. You make your prediction. I like the safer prediction. And then you can always talk mad crap when you win 2-0. So it's no matter what, you win, right? It's a win-win-win.
Of course.
I definitely think you pointed out Nova Galaxy being the strength of EG, and I think it's definitely is. I think a lot of times they pick winning matchups for Profit in the mid lane. They definitely usually prioritize last pick for him, so that's like a benefit that he's given on the team. But I mean, he's also a strong player. Don't get me wrong, in his own right. But it's definitely I think plays through Nova Galaxy. If Nova's playing Rek'Sai and gets this team a big lead early game, I think that's how they win. And vice versa if he's playing something like Kindred or something that scales and is able to get a big lead and kind of carry the fights. I think he decides how EG does. And the games that they've lost, it's when games that he gets a lot of deaths or he doesn't have that clean game. Against us in the last game, he had a clean game and they were able to pull it off. And he also went some of the scaling. I also think our comp was terrible, but in general, you see what I'm saying about that being the point of reference for them. So you guys are looking at him as like maybe the issue that you guys just got to tackle through that series.
Yeah. We've noticed that he mainly just sits mid all game and camps
Yes.
Profit. So we're looking to stop that hopefully with either some bans or having our jungler sit mid as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup, honestly, for you guys because I think you guys have a similar playstyle for the most part,
Yeah.
and it's just the strength of like where that power is just a little different. Because I think it's more on your mid lane than it is your jungle. When it's the vice versa, I think you kind of like switch the power roles against EG, where their strength is in the jungle and still a decent mid, but just not as like I wouldn't say he's the strongest player on the team. Is what I'm trying to say. So I'm definitely interested to see it. I think that will be the best matchup in Gold Plat, considering that the other matchup is the Amimas versus Classic, which I don't think most people are looking at as being a close game. I think it might be closer than people expect, but Classic has definitely struggled to be consistent all season. So I'm definitely hyped up for that matchup, this matchup in particular. And it also might determine who we play. So good luck there.
I'm hoping that Classic wins.
You hoping Classic wins? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you move or play who's the second seed? MWE
Yeah.
instead of us, or is that
hoping
just
that we get to play MWE?
Gotcha? Or you just want to beat Mimo probably because he's very
Yeah.
toxic.
Mimo and the rest of them,
They
they're
definitely have some
quite the motley
interesting.
crew.
Yeah, they are. I mean, after a certain point, pretty much after Classic, I think it becomes pretty. A lot of the teams are pretty close. So I think the Gold Plat playoffs will be super interesting and pretty highly competitive. I'm expecting a lot of 2-1s. I'm not expecting a lot of 2-0s unless both games are really close and one team just happens to pull out both. Anyway, so final question for you guys. This kind of plays into what I was just talking about. Was where do you guys actually? I have two questions left. What do you guys see with best of threes coming in the playoffs and even best of fives if you make the finals? Do you guys see that as being a benefit for your team or a hindrance or kind of indifferent? Because I know some teams honestly benefit from best of ones because it can be like they can play certain things that are
Clown Fiesta.
Clown Fiesta, and they can just abuse the draft one time, and then the team doesn't have a chance to adapt to them and
Right.
play it the second game differently. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys think about that? Are you excited for best of three?
We 100% shine in best of threes. We play in best of threes like so much better. We adapted really well in Champion Select, and we're definitely excited to play best of threes. Best of fives can be iffy if we try to try too many things, or I don't know if draft goes bad, and people get really tilted if they lose 2 games in a row. So
Oh yeah.
best of threes definitely is where we shine, but best of fives can get iffy.
Dicey. Yeah.
Okay. Same opinion, Harbor Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty much same boat. It's the first thing that I notice is that these boys shine in best of threes, so looking forward to them.
I think that's pretty much the answer I see I'm going to get across the board. Is most people prefer it. Obviously, it's because it's not like one and done. You're not just like, oh, we played like crap this game. Which there's definitely been clear in Gold Plat specifically. I think there's been clear instances of that where a team just underperformed in a game or just had a bad draft, and then not necessarily because they're like the worst team, but they just got beat that one game. They got outplayed that one game, and it's just over. So I think that's why I'm saying that I think there's gonna be a lot of 2-1s because I think that still happens. But then we'll see if the teams can adapt and make up those 2 games. But so final question for you guys this time for sure. Where do you guys see your team finishing in playoffs? I'm expecting a very obvious answer, but you never know. Somebody might be pessimistic or a realist.
We're hoping to win, and I think we will.
Confident.
The goal and the mindset is to win. Although I think as long as we get as far as we believe we can push ourselves, we'll be content with whatever placement we at that point in time deserve. So, I mean, if we deserve to win, obviously I'm happy to see that, and I would like to predict that. But honestly, I mean, we just really have to see how it goes. Yeah, take it all with a little bit of grain and salt with some of these teams and how much time we've had to prepare. So,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, again, we're hoping to win, but yeah, like you said, if we don't deserve it, we don't deserve it. There's been a couple games in the regular season where we all agreed that even though we were the better team, we played like horribly and didn't deserve to win.
Yeah, I
that's
could attribute that to what you just said. I mean, in both of our losses, honestly, probably both of them were on me because I drafted like crap, and we also didn't execute well. So, like, I mean, it's definitely was like, well, today we were not the better team, and you just got to move on and try to get better, and hopefully you don't make those same mistakes the next time you guys play, right? So, I'm super hyped up for this matchup in particular. I think it'll be super close. I think you guys are relatively on the same level. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think the 2-1 prediction's going to be pretty accurate. Whether it's in your guys' favor or easy favor, honestly, I don't know. Let's just put it this way: if I am a gambling man, and I still wouldn't bet on this game because I actually would not know who is the favorite.
I'll put $5 down on Guardian Gaming.
So any last words before we sign off here?
No. Besides hoping that Classic can pull through, I think that's about it.
Anything from you?
Keep it clean, keep it fun, have a good time while you're doing it. That's all I gotta say, really. Best
Yeah,
of luck to everyone in the league.
No bans before the playoffs. Only a few days left. Just stay out of the Discord.
Hopefully
Per-
not. Yeah.
Permaban Timo. Pro advice right there. Permaban Timo.
He's
Don't
talking
let him.
about player bans, but
Yeah, I was more talking about the player bans because we had the issue before. But hopefully there's nothing like that because I definitely don't want anybody like having an excuse. Yeah, excuses. You know, what I mean, I want just the best team to win. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, I'm
But yeah.
excited to see it.
Thank you for joining me, guys. This has been the Guardian Gaming's hype video for playoffs. Definitely make sure to check out their matchup with EG. What day do you guys play?
Monday. Monday at 8
Oh
o'clock.
yeah, it's on Monday. It'll be streamed by Daddy Zillion, so you can expect a high quality stream. But that's it for now, guys. Catch you in the next video. See ya.